What's up guys, alexy1 here playing dalmatinac. I think this is even Saric, yeah. So this guy's really good. When we get Caracan, just gonna just play c3. So it's hard to have a good setup against the Caracan, because it's all so solid for black. That's why I play something like this now. I mean, this knight f6 is also on move 4 is also a bit well, it's not the most critical line, but yeah, we'll see. So we have a somewhat better bishop, but this a pawn is somewhat loose, and also we have a somewhat better pawn structure because of this doubled f pawn here. But c5 is gonna come, and so he has some trumps as well here. I don't know what I want to do about this pawn, because I want to play rook a d1 or rook f e1. I don't know. But if I go rook 81, he's just gonna take on a2. If I play b3, c3 is weak. If I play a3, my white squares are weak, but I'm gonna have to do that anyways, I guess. So yeah, this d-file is somewhat of a problem if he plays his knight to c6. This pin could become an issue. Just gonna go to f1. Yeah, I thought it was gonna go knight c6 there. Just gonna go queen c2 and rook 81. So he was afraid of me taking his bishop, I guess. He's gonna go b5 and bishop b7. Just gonna open up the position now. Let's see, maybe f5 or g3. I like g3 actually. It's a bit loose, but okay, maybe h4 wasn't so good. My white squares are terrible now. I immediately regretted it. Me playing it. Yeah, so we're not better anymore. So bishop h3 is a threat now. I'm just gonna go rook e3 and rook e1 if I can. Maybe queen b6 now. Hanging on to this pawn here. Yeah, that felt natural. Okay, so I'm choosing between b4 or b3. I'm gonna go b4. I mean, it seems somewhat strange, but rook e1 is next. And then I'm defending a lot of stuff. A move like a5 doesn't really do anything, so. Also, we're both getting close to time trouble here. Yeah. In his notes it says he has 2671 FIDE, which is just insane. I mean, this guy's really good. I've played him before as well on ICC. Pretty interested in my score against him actually. Okay, so I can't see it. I have to. Well, who cares? Okay, so he's attacking g3. I'm gonna have to take. But my light squares are so weak. I mean, in theory my bishop is somewhat better, but yeah, my white squares are a problem. I'm just trying to press on some pawns here. I'm pressing on f6, a5 as well. And now at least we can get this bishop here. We can just annoy him a bit. So I'm keeping his queen out now. Okay, so I don't want to play queen d5 because of bishop e6. I'm just gonna... Ooh, that's pretty scary. Okay. Well, this should be a draw, I think, but we'll just give it a try and hope for the best. Now we get a passed pawn, so... Yeah. Ooh, queen a1 is a problem. Okay, so I thought he was gonna go queen d7 there. That's why I moved this. Ooh, damn. This is pretty scary. I don't know how to continue here. Jesus. Okay, so that was a little trick there. Ooh. Okay, so we won that game. Let's have a look here. I mean, I shouldn't have won that game, but I shouldn't have lost it as well. I think a draw was a reasonable result. So I've played him before, and well, I think I've played 1b4 in that game. So this is the Caro-Kann. Knight c3 and knight d2 are the main moves here. Also e5 is a move. Yeah, but whatever. I usually play something like knight d2. There's a small difference between knight c3 and knight d2 because, as I understand, I don't really know if it's true or not, but g6 is a move here. Whereas if you go knight d2, g6 isn't as good as it is now. So I heard knight d2 is a bit, well, more precise. So this is normal. Now bishop f5 is the main move. But he played knight f6. Well, I'm thinking you should take here. I mean, there's also a line here when black goes knight d7. You can go knight f3, and then he goes knight f6, and then you shouldn't take because he doesn't have to mess up his pawn structure. So if he goes knight f6 immediately, I think we just have to take. He takes, and now c3. Well, this seems normal. Just trying to defend this d pawn a bit more. We can just go bishop d3 and knight d2 like I did in the game. But also we can maybe go bishop c4 or queen b3 and not worry about this loose d pawn. So c3 seems very reasonable. I don't really know, but there is a line in the Caro-Kann where you can go g3 and bishop g2, but I don't think it's here. I mean, bishop d3 seems so normal here. So he castles probably, and then we go knight e2. And we want to go to e2 instead of f3 because of two things. One, rook e8 check being a threat, and two, if we go to f3, bishop g4 is pretty annoying just to pin my knight. And if we go knight e2 and he goes bishop g4 now, we have f3. So yeah, that's one of those are the two reasons actually, just to go knight e2 here. Bishop g6, I'm guessing this has all been played before. It seems his pieces are just developed normally, but as I said during the game, these two pawns are somewhat weaker. Therefore, my pawn structure is a bit better. Also, after bishop f4, these two bishops, I mean, my bishop wasn't doing anything, and his bishop on d6 was pretty good. His bishop on e6 is even better, but I mean, this is a favorable trade-off, I guess. Not that I should be better or anything, but maybe queen d2 here is somewhat better. Yeah, it's definitely well, it makes it easier. I mean, I'm just gonna take on d6 and play queen f6. Queen f4, I mean. And, yeah. Easier to hold a draw, but I wasn't really aiming for a draw. I mean, I think I can take as well. Queen d2 here. I can still go queen f4 here. But, I don't know, maybe queen d5 even. Okay, so queen c7 is maybe... I don't know. Queen f4 is definitely a move here. I don't really know why I played h3. Maybe it's a bit useless, but Black's plan is pretty obvious. He's just gonna go rook d8 and c5 and just put all his pieces on the d file. Whereas I can't really play rook 81 because of this pawn. So if I go there, he can just take. Oh, he couldn't actually. Oh, we have this queen c2, which is pretty nice because we're just attacking that. And if he goes g6 with b3, queen a3, bishop c4 or knight c1. Oh, nice. Yeah, also rook b or rook a1 probably. So maybe rook 81 was a move, but he can still go something like g6, and then we still have to go b3. And I didn't really want to go b3 because this c pawn is a bit weak, and I only want to do this when I can go c4, which maybe I even can, but maybe I can play c4 here actually. Because now if he goes c5 with this d5, c4 is maybe an idea here. b5 is somewhat of a normal response to c4, but here it doesn't really seem to do anything. So maybe c4. Here I went a3, but yeah, I don't really believe it. Because I want to put my rook on d1, but then bishop b3 is somewhat of an issue. I don't know. Knight e5 was a move here, it seems. And now all these weak squares, I can't even defend them with my bishop. These here. And also my king, I mean, yeah, I'd rather have the bishop here over the knight. If all these pawns were fixed on this square, like for instance, if he has this pawn here and this other pawn, no, not that one, this other pawn there, then this bishop isn't as good because all the squares he can go to are being blocked by his own pawns. But when the pawns are not fixed yet, as they are now, yeah, the bishop is just actually pretty good. c5. I was quite happy he took here because I want to just take back with the knight and be have a solid position. Because my knight is very good on d4 over e2. Maybe I should still go rook d1, but here I wasn't. Didn't want to change my bishop for his knight. But knight c6 was definitely a move here. I think I even said so during the game. I mean, this is pretty annoying. I don't even see a good move here. Okay, d1 probably, and then queen takes probably. The engine wants to go c takes. Oh yeah, okay, that's also possible. I thought queen takes. Because if he goes bishop b3, we can just take there, and then we play something like rook c1 or rook e1. And this is somewhat fine. But still, we get an isolated pawn on the d-file, which is definitely, well, not definitely actually. It's most of the time it's somewhat weaker, but maybe not always. I don't know. Knight c6 felt like the normal move here. So now if knight c6 we can just take. That's why I played queen c2. Also, I just want to well, keep an eye on h7 and just make room for rook a1. So this seems normal. And f4. Ah, he has this. Okay, because this check is disruptive, I guess. And now he has to go back. Well, this is definitely good for him. He should have really done that. I mean, I don't think he saw it. I didn't see it. Because now my pawn structure is just demolished. And he's, well, it's still probably in the draw zone, but black is definitely somewhat better here. Yeah, this f4 feels a bit loose, but... And if he takes here and we take on e5, we're just down a pawn. Because now e5 is just hanging, so... Yeah, g3 seems very normal. I don't want to play f5 here, because now I'm fixing the pawns on the wrong color. His bishop will be better than mine. And also, the knight is this amazing square on e5. And g3 is just pretty normal, but h5 is... Well, it's a good idea, because he's just gonna go h4. And I played h4 myself just to defend against that, but that just weakens my like squares around my queen, my king, so... I don't know what else I should do here. The engine comes up with bishop g2 and then h4, what happens? Then he goes f5. Okay, so bishop g2 just to improve the bishop and also just to have this queen 6 g3 check defended against. I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's good to me, but yeah, maybe it's still a position. I don't really like it though. But this bishop is now pretty strong. But I think I can defend against invasions on the e file with what happened in the game. So queen f2 here. And then this idea. But queen b6 was pretty annoying. He's just attacking b2 here. I was thinking about going b4 or b3. But b3 is just weakening all these pawns. And you can also just go queen c5, I think. But then a4. Well, maybe b3 was possible as well. I mean, d4 felt somewhat more natural to me. I'm just somewhat restricting his queen. And also, in the future I maybe have a few squares here. It has some, well, some positives and some negatives, I guess. And one thing to point out is his plan obviously here is to go bishop h3 to pin my bishop, but rook e1 just saves the day here. But no, the c pawn is weak, but we still have this rook e1, which is nice, because if he takes, we take back with the queen and we defend it. And this rook can't go anywhere, so he has to take. And now we can even go c4, c5 maybe in the future if we're allowed to. Maybe I should have done that here. Yeah, the engine wants to do this as well. Knight c6 probably. Then we have queen e8. Ah, okay. It's actually nice to point out. We can take here now. Queen takes, we're gonna take on f7, and if b takes, we just play c5. And this pawn is weak. This is attacked. We're gonna go bishop g2. We're definitely better here. So c4 is definitely a move. Maybe he's gonna go king f8. But then c5. Yeah, this is definitely good. I don't really remember what the plan was here. I think I just wanted to go queen e4, but d5 is somewhat is what I somewhat underestimated, because now I can't even play c4 in the future, and the c pawn is fixed on c3. We have knight c6 here, which is well, a lucky move here, I guess. But he played b6, which I don't really understand. I mean, I understand he doesn't want to fix his pawns on the white squares, because the bishop endings will be good for me. But still, it seems like keeping my pawn on c3 at bay here. It's definitely good. You can still go b4. This is why I played queen c1, just to get c4 in. So I think I have to take there. I didn't see any other move. Oh man, why does that always happen? Always happens to me. Okay. So c4 is definitely what I was planning for, but because we can also defend it with bishop d5, and if he goes bishop e6, we still have c5. So this is definitely good for me. And I still don't move this c4. And eventually I do it. But here he has bishop e6. And, oh, that's a bad move because I'm pinning my queen. Yes, takes on queen d7 there. So I should probably do something like that. But this is probably a draw. Now we get a passed pawn, a defended passed pawn. And he's threatening to go bishop e6. And, well, I played king e3. But later on, I figured I should play c6 here. I moved my king to c3 first, but then I can't play c6 anymore. So queen d6 is probably the move there, and queen c5 is definitely good. You should probably not take on c5. Because my king is just coming over there. He's gonna snack this b pawn and maybe b4 then. But, oops. Yeah, this is most definitely good for him. For me, not for him. He just wants to play bishop e4 here. I don't see the point. I mean, this feels natural. Yeah, this should be a win. So he shouldn't take on c5. This was queen c5, queen takes c5. We should play queen c7, but we're just gonna snack this b pawn eventually, maybe even now. Just go back. Yeah, and this should just... We have a safe square on h2, and this should be a win. King e3. So here I thought he was gonna go queen d7 again, and then I was gonna play c6. But my king is actually worse on b2 than it was here. Because of this, well, he has a lot of checks in the air now. So, um, yeah, it's a draw now. Now it's even a win. Okay, so he had a win here. Let's see. There must be some sort of mate here, because if I go, yeah, okay, this is the mate. Yeah, that's a pretty nice mate. So bishop b1. Is this winning then? It seems. And then bishop c2. So we're gonna go queen c1 now. And if we go, oh, we can't go to c3 because he's just gonna take, obviously. And if we step into the pin now, he just has this check and gonna snack this bishop and still have mating threats going. Yeah. Well, lucky for me, he didn't see it. As you can see, he had 10 seconds, I had 6 seconds. So. And here I thought I was just gonna lose. I'm also down on position, but I'm down on time as well. So I was just gonna go for some, yeah. I mean, I was hoping he would have pre-moved bishop takes c8, which is why I played queen a6 here. And he obviously pre-moved it. So that's something of a trick in yeah, in time scramble situations on ICC. When there's just a somewhat only move like bishop takes c8 on the next move here. It's a move I would pre-move here sometimes with black with 5 seconds to go. So that's why I tried this here. And it worked, so and now we just get a mate as quickly as possible. Yeah, it was a pretty interesting game. I mean, I think the best result would have been a draw. But yeah, well, I'm lucky to win. I mean, even Saric, the guy is pretty good. I seem to remember him beating Carlson in an Olympiad or something. And he was also playing at Tata Steel last January. So, well, whatever. I hope you guys enjoyed.